So you said a minute ago that the internet has decentralized power and disempowered all these institutions. And those are the institutions that kind of decided who was successful and who wasn't, particularly in the entertainment business, news, sports even.
Yeah.
What does this mean for like their ability to crush people they don't like, to cancel people?
They'll have to find new ways to do it. And I think they're a little panicked. I think it hurts their ability to do it substantially, dramatically.
That way?
Yeah, I think dramatically.
You said you're friends with Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Who I don't know. I'm not defending Louis C.K., but I remember reading the details of that and thinking, okay, maybe unattractive.
Louis has been able to have a great career.
Is that a crime? Like, what was that?
No, not at all. And he's been able to have a phenomenal career.
But why did they do that to him?
Well, I mean, it was a moment in which, and I don't know the details of every single accusation in that piece, but I do know that it was a moment where people weren't thinking.
But even if they were all true, even if everything written about the guy that I read was true, you'd be like, all right, that's embarrassing.
Well, that was a time when it wasn't enough that someone admit to a mistake or it was about destroying people.
Yes.
It was about ending their lives.
But why?
I just think if people get caught up in these moral panics and they want to hurt people, and this is something deeply innate in our beings that have to be dealt with. We have to figure out, why we do this. But this is something that people like mobs and they like getting, their pitchforks out. And I think, he's been able to have a phenomenal career and he's, made movies. He's sold out Madison Square Garden. He's done all these things. His fans love him and he's one of the greatest comedians that's ever lived. So you have that. But yeah, it was a time when people just wanted other people to be heard. It wasn't enough to say, I fucked up, no matter who it was or what they did. And I think now, people are looking at the full picture of a human being and going like, you know what? I think we're all over that. I'm hoping we're all over that. But there are forces out there that are going to have to adjust, So I don't know what they do.
So now. Louis C.K. was.
They may go back to killing people. That's what they did for a long. That's what they did for a long time. And then they just started destroying their reputations. But before that, they killed them. If you remember that.
Yes.
People would die in all these weird ways, and cars would go off things, and people get shot in the middle of hotels. And then it just started to be like, we're just going to take out people's reputations.
It does seem like a lot of people are dying. Have you noticed this? And
it does seem
not just Steve Bing, but
right. Yeah. It's there's a lot of problems. It's not good.
Okay. But just back to Louis C.K. So it turns out that he not only survived this character assassination attempt, but thrived.
He thrived because his talent spoke for itself and people know.
What is anyone keeping track of all the other guys who were destroyed?
I think a lot of them are doing great. I think a lot of them are doing fine because I think, as we talked about, it's not the worst thing to have people turn on you because it makes you, it builds resilience.
Yes.
You know who your real friends are. You fall back on your talent. You lean on your talent. You lean on the things that you can do better than anyone else, and you try to make those even better. You have to be more effective in a way.
Yes.
You can't coast. The tide will not carry you, so you have to find ways to, create your own environment and create your on inertia to move the things you're doing forward, because you won't be carried anymore by the mainstream. So you have to just go, and I think that's ultimately a good thing.
Well, Sue, it's bad that people kiss your ass. It's bad for your soul. You must deal with that.
No, I think I deal with people that lie to me all the time. Yes. So that is a version of kissing your ass.
Of course.
People lie. So people make things, you don't get a lot of good feedback all the time, but then there are people that I trust to give me real feedback, and they're not people that I'm usually paying. You start paying people, that can get complicated, but there are some people that I pay that I do trust to give me real feedback. But then there are also a lot of people that earn money off when I earn money that tell me everything's great all the time. And I go, I don't know if that was great. And I go, no, it was great. Like, their job is to just keep you in a positive mind frame so that you keep earning money. Their job is not to bring any negative or real things to the forefront.
I mean, don't you think it's good for you to be attacked and confronted and belittled and humiliated?
I think it's
brought to who you really are once again.
I think it's certainly good if you're a creative person. And you have to create and you have to shake yourself out of a comfort zone for sure. Yeah.
Do you get enough hate that it keeps you human?
I think so. I think I get enough hate.
You got enough today?
I think I get enough of people that don't like what I do or say, for sure. I think things are appropriately difficult, meaning like I have friction and that's good. I think that, people, I'm not a person who, is beloved with a lot of what I say, but my fans and people that like what I do like me. But then there are people that need some convincing. I think that's good. I don't mind that when I sit down with people and, my manager and people like that will tell me, they go, yeah, they like you, but they don't know really who you are. I think you get a lot of similar stuff where people go, well, they have ideas about you that are not from you. They are just out there. So,
well, I agree. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being attacked for your actual crimes. There's nothing wrong with that. And I welcome it. It's being called names that actually aren't accurate.
Yeah.
For sure. I once was talking to a New York Times reporter who was telling me what a racist I was.
Yeah.
And I said, first of all, I would tell you if I was a racist. I'm really not a racist. I'm actually a sexist.
Right.
And which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
Sort of true. And I thought, that's a good line.
Yeah.
Didn't print it.
No, they won't print it.
If someone said that to me in an interview, I would print that.
Yeah. I participated once. I don't know I know some people in journalism, but I participated once in this thing where like there's a few journalists that like wanted to talk to a comedian because they were like, we want to start using more comedy in our pieces. And I was like, wait, what? And they were just these totally unfunny like people. It was just tough. I was like, guys, just write the fucking news. But they wanted like. What
did you tell them?
I just said, I don't know. I think people that are good at this stuff are good at it, and I can't tell you how to make something funny, because they were basically saying like, we think that our reach will grow dramatically if we're funny. And I go, it might grow dramatically if you reported facts. That might.
Did they laugh?
No, they didn't. They were like, well. So that's all.
Are there any journalists you like or read or trust?
Sure. I mean, there's people that I read all the time.
Like who?
I read Andrew Sullivan a lot. I don't always agree with him, but I think he's worth a read.
Smart.
I've read Seymour Hersh, every article that he writes.
Good for me too.
I read Barry Weiss. I'll read the Free Press, whether I agree or not.
Taibbi?
I'll read Taibbi. I'll read your stuff, Daily Caller, people that have written there. I read. And then I'll read Thomas Friedman. I'll read Nicholas Crystal. I'll read the Times editor. I read Washington Post. I'll read Ann Applebaum in the Atlantic, and I disagree with her. I don't want to go to Russia tomorrow. I have an engagement. Thank you. I have a lunch.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.